It's time for Silverstone. In reverse, Barney is on pole position with Harry alongside. And the lights are out and we're on the way for the British Grand Prix. Barney leads ahead of Balaboton, has a great start and he was already trying to go round the outside there of Harry. And he does so as the other Aston Martin goes off track. More cars in the background going wide on the entry of turn 1. But Balaboton has already got a position as he got ahead of Harry in the background. Twush Terry fights it out with Alpha, a bit of a gap already towards the top 3. And he stays ahead of the Alpine for now. He's gained a position of the start ahead of Aaron in P6. And it's Aaron and 7 ahead of Lennons in the McLaren, trying to go alongside the Red Bull already, but you don't want to go overtaking in towards Maggins and Beckett. But the McLaren driver is going to do it regardless. He goes around the outside and Twush Terry is being put off into the gravel there as he went wheel to wheel with the Alpine of Alpha Hypo. Contact between the two, and Twush Terry has been sent spinning around. Halfway down the opening lap, down to P16 he goes as his teammate fights it out with Jesus in P9. Is already in the position. And now Blitz Hyper trying to get past the Haas as well as we go into Lovehill. But Michael sends it along around the outside and is able to maintain his position as he will have the inside line for the next turn and stays ahead of Blitz Hyper and Skinner then in P12. But at the front it is Barney who has maintained his lead by 0.4 of a second towards Balaboton. It's already Harry with a bit of a gap behind, as Nexus is going to get ahead of Arbon as well, and the Sauber is up to P7. When he will have the DRS as the Aston Martin runs slightly wide. The better exit is there for Harry. He goes to the inside, not quite, has the DRS, but Balaboton defends the inside line, but not by too much. And now Harry is having to go up the inside. Bit of contact between the two, and Harry almost going into the grass there, fighting it out with Balaboton. He's picked up a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure why the message didn't pop on the screen, but Harry now with a 3-second time penalty. Because of that moment, I'm sure he will be able to get that removed. Now he sends one up the inside there. Contact once again between the two. Elbows out, and Balaboton still stays ahead. Now Harry is going to try and go for the switchback, but he doesn't quite get the exit right. And you don't want to go side by side going to the final corner. But losing a lot of time now. The gap's over 2 seconds towards Barney. Harry once again going up the inside of the Aston Martin. This time he does get the position and he's ahead now of Balaboton. He's got the tire advantage as well and is able to stay in front. Now the gap is 2.5 seconds towards Barney as Alpha Highball had half a look at the inside of Balaboton but stays behind for now. Jesus wanting to go up the inside, but it's not easy to do so. But Nexus runs off track there on the braking zone. It's the grass and Jesus goes through, and so does Arbon, but Nexus still having to go up the inside. Arbon though will have the better exit, as you would think, but Nexus still alongside as Barney pulls into the pit lane from the race lead on the end of lap 6, or going on to lap 6. Only 5 laps of racing before Barney has to pull into the pit lane, but Arbon pulls ahead there of Nexus. He made a bit of a mistake there in the braking zone going into the village section. Blitz Hyper tries to get past Ozan. They go wheel to Cops corner, but there's contact between the two. Ozan spins around as he hits the rear right tire there of Blitz Hyper, who has been sent off track as well, losing a lot of positions, a lot of time down in P15. But Ozan there making contact with the Alpine, and he has sent himself towards the back as well, losing a lot of time. As Skinner's got front wing damage, I think. I think his right end plate is missing as Ozan has retired out on track, which has caused a safety car. Slowing down on exit. Waiting, and here we go then. It is green flag racing again as we go on to lap 12, and Barney leads by 0.2 of a second ahead of Balaboton. He's on the mediums. And so is Harry close behind, who has just made his pit stop under safety car conditions. Looking to pounce immediately. Lennon's following closely in P4 in the Alpine, in the McLaren, with the Alpine of Alpha Highball close behind, looking to find a way past as soon as possible. The other Alpine gets past Nexus. Harry once again close to the back, but he switches to the inside there into the braking zone of Lovefield to Sauber on the inside. The Aston Martin on the outside, but doesn't have the grip to maintain that position, and Harry is up to P2. with a great move there. And Alpha Hypo looking to find a way past Alpha Hypo. Tries to go around the outside, but the McLaren driver shuts the door. But still, the Alpine has got his nose in. But the outside is not the way to take on this turn, but he's going to try around the outside regardless. McLaren on the inside, Alpha Highball has the inside line for the next turn. That's a beautiful move from our championship leader, and Alpha Highball is up to P4. Harry has to go the long way around the outside into braking zone very late on the brakes, and Barney has got no response to the kick Sauber, who charges into the lead of this race. Harry now up to P1, ahead of Barney. Is on 7 lap, all hards of course, but 2 laps on those aware under safety car conditions. But he has got the most worn out tires in this field right now, and now it's going to be put under pressure there by Balaboto. Nexus gets ahead of Jaden. And there is contact in the background. That is Michael and Nexus making contact, and the Haas driver has been spun around. And Nexus was off track as well, and he's got damage to his front wing. Didn't quite see what happened between the two, but very unlucky there. Nexus has to pull into the pit, and of course with that front wing damage, as Michael continues on. Now he is fighting his way back, as that is Balabotan going slightly wide, and Alpha Highball slips underneath. We'll have the outside line for the next turn. There's contact between the two of them, but Alpha Highball keeps it around the outside, and now he's up into a podium position. Balabotan drops down to P4. Michael into the pit lane again, as that is going off track there. Lennon's way off into the grass, as Terry also runs slightly wide there, but that does allow Jesus to go through, as Lennon's completely understeered off track there. Now he's lost 2 positions down to P6. Jesus now ahead, he's into P4, ahead of Terry, but a bit of a mistake there by Lennon's. The gap is 2 tenths, and he's going to send one on the inside, going into left-field contact between the two, as Alpha Highball runs out slightly deep and makes contact with Balabotan, who is going to stay ahead, as the Alpine is not able to complete that move. Optimistic send to the inside, but it hasn't worked out for him, not yet at least. Terry close to the back of Lennons, as Arbon gets ahead of Jesus, or almost Jesus trying to get ahead of Arbon, the Williams driver, with a 2-lap tire advantage. Currently down in P10, which is where he started, around 4.6 seconds. So after Harry and Barney get past, as that is some interesting defensive driving by Blitz Hyper, who eventually has let both of them through. But there was contact between the two, and now Harry is going to try and go around the outside of Barney, but the RB driver is not going to allow that. So yellow flags out there again for Frobby, but Harry now round the outside of the RB is going to have the better exit, and Harry gets ahead of Barney. As he comes out of the corner, the kick Sauber is ahead of the RB, but a bit of a controversial moment there between Blitz Hyper and Harry, as he was almost putting the RB into the grass on the Wellington straight. Oh, and Skinner looks like he's got a front wide puncture. Yes, he has. He is not making it to the end on these tires, and he will be overtaken by both Blitz Hyper there and now Terry, who realized that the Williams driver's got no grip, and fully off track goes the Williams of Skinner, and all his good work has become undone, and he will drop outside the points as his teammate goes past. More fighting ahead. Terry now ahead of Blitz Hyper, as we go wheel to wheel in the background. That is Balabotan and Lennons fighting it out on the exit. Lennons is going to have the inside line, as Blitz Hyper is going to get out of the way there as well. Behind Arbon. Yellow flags, and it's because of Jaden, who has now also picked up a puncture on the front right after only 6 laps, not even on the mediums. The Ferrari driver spins coming out of Cobb's corner as he hits the grass on the exit and does a nice pirouette to get back to the direction he wants to face, but also a puncture on the front right there for the Ferrari driver, which is going to allow Skinner to get back up into P13. But look at Barney, look how close he is to the back of the kick Sauber. He's going to have to go long around the outside into Lovefield. The Sauber's on the inside. He's going to have to battle that bit of contact between the two. Barney now is going to have the inside line for the next one. More contact between the two, and Barney gets almost spun around there. Fighting it out with Harry, who stays ahead with the elbows out. And I'm sure Barney's going to have something to say about that. But Harry remains in the lead of this race. And with only 2 corners to go, I don't think there's anything Barney can do to go for his 2nd victory in a row. Harry comes out of the final corner for the first time ever. He's going to cross the line, finish line first, and Harry wins the British Grand Prix. But Barney, with not a time penalty, he is going to be declared the official race winner. Harry is classified in second place. We will only know if that is the true position after this race, if he is going to be able to remove that time penalty. But Barney wins out of Harry. Alpha Hype Wall once again extends his championship lead with another strong podium finish.